Hey everyone, Ethan here. Worlds has ended about 3 weeks ago, at least as the time this video is coming out, and there were a lot of incredible moments, a lot of stuff that I saw, incredible tournament, lots of connections, lots of friends, lots of records, including the record that I'm going to be talking about today, and that is the 5.275 doubles fastest on the web. In my opinion, this is probably one of the greatest stacking records ever beaten, in my opinion. Even though it has improved in such a short time, I still kind of can't even believe that doubles is at this point now. But especially after the video that I posted, and as well as many of the other angles of the video, I know people are saying that this can be taken down. The record can be taken down much further, and a 4 second double cycle could be possible. Now, I want to go ahead and say on the record, I know this video is going to be kind of phrased pretty vaguely. Could the doubles fast on the web be beaten? And I want to say on the record, I am not ignorant to the fact that I don't think this record could be beaten. I do think it could be. I just think that there's a lot of circumstances that people aren't exactly looking at for this record to be beaten, in my opinion. So, I want to start off and just mention that when it came to this particular record, the record was set by American stacker William Allen and Malaysian stacker Chen Keng Ian, both of which are in the top 10 fastest in the world overall right now. I I can't speak for either one here, and I haven't even asked them. I probably should, but I haven't asked either one of them. But I would imagine that, especially when they met up and started doing doubles together, I can't imagine that they would have expected getting the fast on the web time, especially by that much of a jump. And the biggest thing I think, especially with this particular record, is that these two stackers live on complete opposite sides of the world from each other. You know? They just live on complete opposite sides of the world. And like the world championships is kind of, I think, one of the very, very few places where they could have pulled this off. And it just so happened that they did it in the practice lobby of Worlds. So, what I'm saying here is that distance between stackers, in my opinion, is probably one of the greatest factors that really needs to be taken into, especially if a new doubles fast on the web was beaten. Because here's what I'm gonna say: if you do attend a tournament and you're just attending individuals, you can practice your individuals for weeks or months in advance of the tournament. If you're doing doubles or relay, you basically can't practice it until the tournament venue time that you have to practice at, or maybe even a couple extra days to get the fastest possible time that you can unofficially. And same goes with relay as well. I think 99% of stackers probably cannot practice doubles on a regular basis, especially to a very, very significant, not significant, but a very high level, like the current fast on the web holders or world record holders can. You just can't do that. You know, you have to wait until tournament venue time to do that. And I watched them doing doubles together for, it was over 30 minutes, probably even close to an hour that they did it together, if you were to ask me. And I would imagine, I still haven't asked either one of them about this, and I, again, probably should, but they, again, especially with these two stackers living on opposite sides of the world from each other, they probably didn't have much doubles experience together. They're both incredibly consistent doing doubles with other people, and including William Allen, who actually had the fast on the web prior to that with William Morrell after Hotlanta, I think, this year with 537. So they beat the fast on the web by over a tenth of a second, and they do have a lot of experience doing doubles with other people, but individual stacker rhythms change when you do it with different people, right? And so probably just kind of may have just been a completely freak occurrence. And as I already said, I can't imagine that when they started doing doubles together, they were going to get the fastest on the web eventually. Like, I just can't imagine they did that. I mean, or I just can't imagine that was their mindset. Again, I still haven't asked either one of them yet, but the distance between cup stackers, in my opinion, is probably one of the greatest barriers in terms of getting a new fastest on the web for doubles. practicing more is probably the other. And practicing doubles is much easier said than done because going to a tournament, as I already said, with individuals, you can practice for weeks or months in advance of the tournament. You can't do that for doubles or relay. So, or most people can't do that for doubles at least. So, if this record were to be beaten, in my personal opinion, this is just my opinion here, I do think practicing more would need to be taken into consideration. But as I already said, that's way easier said than done. A lot of stackers can't necessarily do that. So that these two factors, the distance between stackers and practicing more, I think are probably the greatest factors as to whether or not this record will ever be beaten again, in my personal opinion. This may be, some of you may not agree with this, and that's fine, but the only way you can improve your cycle record is if you practice. That's the only way you can improve it. It just is. For doubles, it's the same way, but as I already said, you can't really practice doubles very often. So, again, this is just completely my opinion. And I want to say again, I'm not ignorant to the fact that I don't think this record could be beaten again. I do think it can. But I just think that a lot of people who are saying we're closer to a four with doubles than we think, or a four with doubles is going to happen soon, I don't think they're taking into consideration the circumstances needed for this record to be pushed down even lower, in my opinion. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say about this. Again, this is probably going to be up for debate. A lot of people, or some people, may not agree with this, and that's fine. But I wanted to make this video, especially with the really high amount of comments I've seen and stuff I've seen about how much closer we are to a four with doubles and how soon it might happen, especially with the pretty rapid improvement of doubles. But I do think there is quite a ways to go, and it's not just the time barrier that's preventing this from being beaten, in my opinion. So that's where this video is going to end at. Again, if you agree with this, that's fine. If you don't agree with this, that's fine. I'm curious if anybody has any sort of disagreements or even anything like that. If you do, leave them in the comment section. I'm actually really open to that, and so we'll see. But I'll see you guys in the next video, I guess. See you all later.